Good morning, everyone. Today I'm back working on the Del Slow. If you remember in my last video, I asked you guys to give me ideas on where you want to see me put my wastegate pipe. You guys were a great help, lots of comments, thanks. But anyways, I decided that I want to go out the side of the bumper with it because I think that would be cool. And I also want to try putting a teardrop tip on it. So I'm going to bring it out somewhere around here, maybe like right in that bottom corner there. And then, like I said, the teardrop tip. So yeah, it should be fun. So let's get started. So I think the first thing that I want to do is see if I can even make one of those teardrop tips. Meticulous, I think his name is, has a really good video on it. I'll link it up here. Over here. Up there. Yeah. I'll put a card up there so you guys can go watch that. But basically, I'm just going to look in my scrap bin here and see if I have something. This will probably work. It's a little bit big, but I can maybe neck it down to the 1.5 inches that my wastegate pipe is. So basically, all you do to make a teardrop tip is you start with a 90-degree bend, and then I'm just working on the edge of the bench here. And all you're gonna do is find a spot that looks right to you. You can play around with different angles, but I'm just gonna go with a small one here because this is a small pipe. I'm gonna go straight across. Just draw a line straight across the bottom portion of that bend, like where the bend starts. And you can see, if I flip this over, that's where your teardrop shape is going to come out. So you're going to have a point here, and then it's going to round out on this side. So I'm just going to eyeball this, put my point somewhere around there, try and find the middle of the pipe, and continue that line over to the other side. And something like that. Then I can flip it over, grab my square again, and connect those two lines that I just made. It's kind of difficult with a camera in the way. And that's going to make our teardrop once we cut that out. So I just did a rough cut on the bandsaw, and then now I'm going to shape this to exactly how I want it on the grinder here. So you can see I just sharpened the tip a little bit and then gave it just a little bit of a curve up. Okay, that looks pretty sweet. And then I can just cut it off at whatever length I want. So now the next step is going to be actually making the dump pipe. I'm going to go down, and then I got to go that way through the inner fender lining, and then to the bumper. This is going to be pretty much the same as making my down pipe. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that. I'll link that up here. But yeah, I'm not going to get into too much detail of making the actual pipe because it's going to be exactly the same as making the down pipe. Quick tip, since this stuff is really light, it's small tubing, I can get away with just using masking tape to fit up my joints and get all the angles right before I go putting a bunch of ugly tacks on here. Just makes things a little bit quicker and cleaner. Now, if I had any amount of common sense, I would just take a measurement from here, come straight down, cut it level, and I'd be done. But instead, I'm going to come down that way, back up, through here, out the side of the bumper with a bigger piece of pipe. Because race car. This is why it's better to use tape. I overestimated the angle up top. I had 3 pie cuts in there, so I just removed the tape, pull one of those pie cuts out, I can use it elsewhere, and then I just stick this back up there and I can keep going. So I started making this pipe. I'm coming down to here, started making my bend, and I thought maybe I should pull this out make some room. There's a friggin' water tank back there. I didn't even think about that. But I should have enough room, so I'll measure down from this frame rail, see where that's at, and then see if I have enough space down here somewhere to send that pipe through. Alright, I got her all tacked up. So far this is turning out to be the most unnecessary and overcomplicated thing I've ever made, but I think it'll be pretty cool in the end. Now I just have to cut a hole in my bumper over there. So I've got my pipe all tacked up, it's in place. I'm just gonna trace a circle on the back side of the bumper, and then I can take a hole saw through there, and then we'll put the tip on. This is great. I'm in love with this already. Doesn't even have the tip on it. Let's grab this. See, this is 2 inch, that's 1.5 inches, so we're gonna have a little bit of problem there. But I can handle that. Oh. Anyways, that's what it's gonna look like. Oh, that's sick. I love it. Alright, now I've got everything tacked up and where it needs to be. The pipe is coming out right in the middle of my hole here. Now the last thing I need to do is I'm going to shorten the teardrop tip that I made, and then I'm going to have to squeeze it down to make it fit onto the smaller tube. I'm just going to cut some slits down the side, and then I'll bend the tabs in and weld it on. Probably something like that. Here you can see how I just shrunk this down. I just took it to the bandsaw, made a bunch of parallel cuts, and then took a hammer and just tapped around it until all those little tabs met. And now it's a fair bit smaller at the end there, so I can just weld these together now. So this is what the thing looks like all welded up. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick it in and we'll go for a test drive. So that's it. Screw pipe is in. I still got a couple of things left to install. I still have no intercooler. Needs a manual transmission, needs a tune. There's probably some other things that I'm forgetting. But anyways, like always, subscribe, Instagram, like, comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.